Hey, what's up, everybody? Terry Daniel, voice actor and coach from UVT Coaching. It's time for another script tip video. Yes, this is a commercial. And for those of you who are just thinking about getting into voiceover, or maybe some of you have already started a voiceover career, or maybe you've been in it for 20 to 30 years, like myself, you really have to have an understanding of how a script should be performed. Let's take, for example, this Cool Mints commercial. Now, when I first got started, I always had friends and family members saying, well, voice acting is just reading, right? No, it's acting. It's a performance. And yes, it looks easy when you look at a script like this for a second. It's like, oh, I can read that. People assume it's easy because there's not like a 13-syllable medical term in it, right? But it's actually, if you're not paying close attention to how the client wants it performed, it can be very difficult. So what we want to do here is take a look at the direction. This is very, very important, whether you're doing an audition or you're preparing for an actual gig where the client is going to direct you live. This happens a lot, especially if you're booked through a talent agent. Now, authentic, somewhat energetic. Now, somewhat energetic, that doesn't mean this is a 24-hour clearance sale and you're supposed to be screaming from the top of a mountaintop, right? Just caffeinate it a little bit, but don't go over the top. Everything in moderation is a good thing. Dry sense of humor. That's an interesting touch. You don't see that too often in directions for a commercial script like that, but it happens to be kind of a niche of mine because I'm kind of a sarcastic kind of guy anyway. So, sometimes my commercial reads can come off a little snarky because they're supposed to be a little snarky, but not mean-spirited by any stretch of the imagination. They're supposed to be fun, right? So I'm going to just take you through this, and this is actually my first time reading it through, so I might stumble. By the way, when you stumble, pros stumble. It doesn't matter. Don't kick yourself in the rear and get pissed off and start cursing and, run away all angry. It doesn't matter how many years you've been doing this. We all stumble through copy. And the good news is with recording software these days, it takes like 2 seconds to edit a lot of that stuff out, right? So please do not let that get in the way of your performance, because too many people can, if they're having a bad day and they're stumbling a lot, they can spin out, and then suddenly they get so pissed off, they start to sound angry in the performance. And don't think clients can't hear that. So we want to avoid that at all costs. So it's kind of a funny thing, this commercial kind of takes place in a corporate office. That's what I'm imagining here. And I'm just going to kind of read it for you here. And you'll notice the second paragraph is actually kind of a spoof. It's like, those disclaimers, you'll hear them at the end of like pharmaceutical ads. It's kind of a play on that, but it's supposed to be kind of funny at the end. AK, excessive confidence, gratuitous smiling, random bursts of friendliness. So with that particular line, you want to read it really fast, like a disclaimer, right? So the key is just to follow the direction carefully and just have as much fun with this as possible. But again, we don't want to go over the top with it's not too much animation, not too energetic, kind of a tongue-in-cheek, sort of cynical sense of humor kind of thing. So let's try this out. In the jungle of your day-to-day life, where coffee breath roars louder than your boss's demands, we're here to save the day with Cool Mints. Cool Mints can outfresh a peppermint field in a snowstorm. So pop one in and be the hero of your office. Or don't, and become a legend for all the wrong reasons. Side effects may include excessive confidence, gratuitous smiling, and random bursts of friendliness. Use responsibly. Okay, so now that's one take. And it's always really important, especially if you're doing auditions these days, whether you're on one of those pay-to-play audition sites, or even a lot of your agents will allow more than one take when you submit the audition for the gig. Like, for example, I wasn't really thrilled with my first take, so I would want to do 3 or 4 takes of this commercial. It's short enough where you can send 4 different auditions on the same file and change them all up a little bit, because maybe the client won't like the first one, but maybe the magic is in like take number 3 or 4. So plus, you're going to impress the hell out of the client because you're showing them already, even before you get the gig, that you're willing to over deliver for the project, right? And it's always going to be really impressive because a lot of people just record it and send it in one take. Not good. You need to do 3 or 4 takes. So I'm going to kind of slow it down at the beginning here a little bit and just allow my cynical attitude to take over a little bit. And let's try that for take number 2. In the jungle of your day-to-day life, where coffee breath roars louder than your boss's demands, we're here to save the day with Cool Mints. Cool Mints can outfresh a peppermint field in a snowstorm. So pop one in and be the hero of your office. Or don't, and become a legend for all the wrong reasons. See, a little bit more sarcasm there. Again, that take number 2 gives the client something to think about. They're all like gathering behind the glass or wherever they're meeting about the project and going, yeah, he's got the right voice for it. I didn't like the first take, but there was something magical about the delivery in take number 2. And you really can, especially with the disclaimer part at the bottom when it starts with side effects, you can almost come out of character for that one because you see it in TV commercials all the time for pharmaceuticals, right? Where it sounds like a different voice. And that's what you need to do here. And it's supposed to be kind of funny. So try to read that as fast as you can. Even if you stumble a little bit, that's okay. But again, last line is supposed to be kind of funny. So let's go to take 3. I'm going to try a version that just has a little bit more energy because, again, in the direction above there, they did write somewhat energetic, right? So let's try this. In the jungle of your day-to-day life, where coffee breath roars louder than your boss's demands, we're here to save the day with Cool Mints. Cool Mints can outfresh a peppermint field in a snowstorm. So pop one in and be the hero of your office. Or don't, and become a legend for all the wrong reasons. And then the last part speaks for itself. You'll notice on take 3 that I was speaking from more of an upper register. And that's something that is kind of a learning curve as well. I kind of had that going into voiceovers because of my singing background where, I can get real low like this and I can get real high like this and even go into a falsetto like this if it's kind of animated, right? So anyway, I hope this was helpful. Practice along with the video. This is a cool script. And by the way, this is not a real commercial. This is just a coaching script for practice purposes only. But take some notes, underline certain words and lines that you feel need to pop a little bit more, especially, Cool Mints can outfresh a peppermint field in a snowstorm. But don't make that every take. That should just be one of your takes. Again, it's really important when you're doing multiple takes for an audition or a gig to make sure every take sounds just a little bit different. It doesn't have to be so broad where, you're screaming one take and whispering the next. We don't want to make it, again, everything in moderation is a good thing. Subtle changes between takes. And again, the client's going to be impressed that you were willing, even before they made a decision if they were going to hire you or not, you were willing to take the time to record 3 or 4 different takes for the gig. I'm Terry Daniel, voice actor and coach from UVT Coaching. Check our website out if you're interested in working with the UVT coaching team, uvtcoaching.com. We got all kinds of different coaching programs. We do demo production, and we're all seasoned voice actors. So you're actually being mentored by coaches who are still doing voiceovers on a full-time basis. So check it out, uvtcoaching.com. I will talk to you soon, everybody. Take care.